Right, let's talk to Shadow Secretary of State for Science, Innovation and Technology, Peter Kyle, who joins us now. Peter, very good to see you this morning. Can we talk about Great British Energy? Because I know that sort of the big launch is happening today with all of that. I'm quite intrigued as to what the Labour Party thinks Great British Energy would bring the British people, and how you think we can afford the investment at a time when the Conservatives say you've already got a £38.5 billion black hole in your finances.
Well, their black hole, incidentally, has just risen to almost 70 billion, including the £46 billion national insurance pledge that they've made. So they can start addressing their black holes before they accuse any others of doing so. But when it comes to Great British Energy, the proof that we need it is the fact that so many other countries have state-owned energy companies investing in our country. So they are investing in to help us tackle the challenges we face, but those opportunities that they are exploiting and the money and the profits that come from it are all going back to France. They're going back to Denmark. They're going back to Germany. So we need a British clean energy, nationally owned company that can provide state backing for those big investments that we need to create new infrastructure opportunities and projects, such as carbon capture and storage, such as offshore wind programs, such as things like new nuclear facilities. If we do that, then we can invest in those opportunities and make sure that the profits of it are delivered back to the British people. We can support innovators, businesses, wealth creators, so that every part of Britain and the British talent is supported from within Britain itself, and we don't go abroad to do so. And in terms of how we're going to pay for it, these are all fully costed. It'll cost about £8 billion, most of which will be paid for by a windfall tax on North Sea oil and gas producers. And of course, these sorts of things will be set out after the election. But this is a fully costed programme. We're not going to be, making uncosted commitments in this election. Every single one is fully funded and costed.
Is it a good use of money, though? Is Great British Energy really needed at all when billions are being spent on green investments already? The UK is already decarbonising more rapidly than any other major economy and is also investing heavily. The Department for Energy and Net Zero recently estimated £100 billion worth of private investment was put towards the UK's energy transition. So it's not entirely obvious to everyone why a comparatively small state owned company is even necessary.
Well, right now, those investments and the profits from it are often going back to other countries. We think that the benefits and opportunities that come from operating in the United Kingdom should stay here and be reinvested in the United Kingdom. So we also estimate that for every pound that GB Energy, Great British Energy, invests in these infrastructure projects, it will unlock £3 of investment from the private sector. We will be seeking to partner with those private sector companies. And this isn't just the economy overall and the government that will be benefiting, it is household finances too. By the end of this Parliament, each family bills will fall by £300. That's an annual £300. It's a permanent deduction in people's utility bills, and we'll be ramping up to that over the course of the Parliament. Our mission in government, one of our missions in government, is to be delivering clean energy by 2030. The first step to delivering it, from when we first take office, if we get the opportunity to serve, will be setting up GB Energy, a state-owned clean energy company investing in innovators, wealth creators and businesses in this country and making sure the profits of it are invested back into families across our country so that we can lower bills. It's a win-win.
Not a win-win if you don't like onshore wind farms, though, because presumably you're going to have to invest in plenty of those.
We'll be investing in all sorts of renewables going forward, because if we don't, then, of course, as Patrick Vallance said, the former chief scientific officer who endorsed GB Energy today in an op-ed in The Times, he said if we don't do this, into the future we will be buying in solutions to our problems from other countries. By doing GB Energy, Great British Energy, we will be creating the solutions to British challenges from within Britain itself. And then when we get these new innovations, we can export them around the world. We can be a world leader. So as the Sir Patrick Vallance says, either we import the solutions and allow other countries to profit from doing so, or we do this domestically and we as a country profit from it as well. That's why it's so important that we do this, and for the last 14 years we've been missing out on this kind of thinking. We're not prepared for the future, which is why other countries are profiting from this country. Why don't we have more confidence in our country? We think in the Labour Party that Britain has incredible potential, but we need to make sure that we capitalise it, and when we do capitalise it, that British people benefit from our potential, not that the benefit goes to other people from around the world.
I wanted to ask you about Diane Abbott, because Angela Rayner has now come out in support of Diane Abbott, saying she sees no reason why she can't stand as a Labour candidate in Hackney. Is there a split emerging in the Labour Party over this?
No, these are issues. Angela Rayner is part of the NEC, our National Governing Committee, and that NEC will meet in the next few days and resolve all these issues. Angela is a voice on that committee, so she was expressing the view that she would be expressing around the table.
Faiza Shaheen, who's claimed that the Labour Party has a problem with black and brown people. She says that her name isn't in the candidate club. It's no surprise that those excluded are people of colour.
All of these are standards issues, and I'm not going to stand here and apologise for the fact that Keir Starmer's changed Labour Party. Part of that change has been raising the standards that all of us are held to. We've had 14 years of the Tories where breaking the ministerial code has no consequence, where you have a Prime Minister that breaks the laws that he himself made, where we have people who we know, it's been an open secret in Westminster, who've been going around conducting acts of misconduct, and it's only exposed, things are only done when it makes it into the media. So we're trying to respond to that. Keir has raised the standards, and I'm not going to apologise for those raised standards. And every one of those issues that you've mentioned are standards issues, which goes into a fully independent process, and that independent process will come to its decisions. Nobody forced anybody to make challenges of standards when it comes to their conduct and their roles as either candidates or MPs or whatever. But with Keir Starmer's changed Labour Party, those standards will remain high, and the public can count on that.
OK, Peter Kyle, good to talk to you. Sorry about the weather.